Hi, Dr. Vikki Petersen here. I wanted to talk to you about the importance of sleep. It's always important, but right now all we can think about is avoiding viruses. So it's a good opportunity to talk about sleep, sleep hygiene, and why it's so important. There was a great book, it's a New York Times bestseller called Why We Sleep. So there's a lot of great studies in there and terrific information, but to give you a summary on the importance, actually 2/3 of adults in all industrialized nations fail to get adequate sleep. So what is that recommended number of hours per night? The magic number 8. That is it. So believe me, I've been in practice for a long time, and I've definitely had patients apologize when they needed 8 hours of sleep, told me, oh, I get a lot. I'm like, what's a lot? And they go, I get 8, like they're whispering it like it's some crime when it's really what everybody needs. So it is what we need. You're not, some people feel like, well, they're cooler if they, get less sleep because they can tough it out. And, I will be completely honest with you. If I could stay optimally healthy and not sleep at all, I would be beyond thrilled. If it was 4 hours and I could stay optimally healthy, I'd be in, but sadly that's not the case. So back to sleep. So if you get less than 6 or 7 hours of sleep, so the recommended being 8, you've diminished your immune system quite dramatically, more than doubling your risk for cancer. It also increases your risk for Alzheimer's. It also increases your risk for weight gain. Maybe you've been low on sleep and noticed that you've eaten more. It's like your body's trying to get energy from somewhere since it didn't get it during sleep. So that's a very real thing, that if you're trying to lose weight, protect your brain, reduce your risk of cancer, you want to get enough sleep for that reason. But basically, Dr. Walker, who wrote the book Why We Sleep, summed it up with, the shorter you sleep, the shorter your life. So really not what we're going for. But let's get back to, by the way, the World Health Organization declared insufficient sleep an epidemic. And they said that they want doctors to prescribe sleep like they'd prescribe a medication. That's my kind of prescription. Certainly something we do for our patients all the time, prescribe sleep. And what happens during sleep is your body secretes your immune defense chemicals and cells called the natural killer cells. And these natural killer cells, they kill exactly what you want them to kill. Cancer cells, bacteria, viruses, they are your immune defense army. And when you're in that nice deep sleep, uninterrupted 8 hours, they're out there doing exactly what you want them to do. Your body will force you to sleep when you're ill. You've probably noticed that if you've had a flu or a bad cold. You just sort of are nodding off in the middle of the day because your body's forcing you to fall asleep so it can come out. Those immune cells can come out and start cleaning house. They did a really interesting study with young men, robustly healthy young men, and they gave them just a single night of 4 hours of sleep. Their natural killer cell production went down 70% just in one night, and it didn't bounce back right away. It took many, I think up to 3 weeks to fully rebound. Crazy how long just one bad night's of sleep did as far as your immune potential and the release of these natural killer cells. Let's see, what else did I want to tell you about? There was another really interesting study from our, we're here in Silicon Valley, so it was local. The UC San Francisco did an interesting study. They took 150 young men and women, young adults, and observed them over a week. They had either a watch or a ring that just kind of tracked how many hours sleep they got. And they put them in 4 groups, the less than 5, 5 to 6, 6 to 7, and 7 or more. So that was the 4 groups that they put them into as a result of just observing them for a week. And then they put rhinovirus up their nose. So obviously these were all willing participants of this. And so rhinovirus squirted up the nose, and then they were in isolation and watched for the next week. And those who traditionally got the least amount of sleep, the 5 or less, 50% of them, half of them got the cold, versus only 18% of those on the other end of the spectrum, the 7 or more hours. Even though it was right up their nose, only 18% got it. So that was almost a threefold different, 2.75 based on my math. And so those are some very interesting studies about sleep. So hopefully I've gotten your attention on the science associated with getting 8 hours of sleep. And people go, I don't have time. It's like, you make time for what you make time for based on knowledge, I think. So if you were guaranteed to get sick more often, increase your risk of cancer, live shorter, be at risk for Alzheimer's, if enough of that, if that list got long enough, which is pretty long, and said all you need to do is sleep 8 hours, maybe you would change your life around a little bit and get 8 hours of sleep. I noticed my husband doing that once he started reading the book. He was more at like 6.5, 7.5, and I'll be honest, I was a little jealous, and it's like, oh, that's all he needs, because this body wants its 8, sometimes 8.5. And, and he would just be going to bed a little later, up a little earlier, and then read this book, and yeah, he's getting his 8 hours. So, what does it take? It is the science associated with it, and so, something to think about. Now, I want to talk to those of you who try to put the body to bed and the body doesn't sleep. Maybe it falls asleep okay and it wakes up. Maybe you're lying there staring at the ceiling for an hour. Whether it's falling asleep, staying asleep, the quality of sleep, a lot of patients say, yeah, I slept 8 hours, but you wouldn't know it based on how I felt. I'm still exhausted, etc., etc. These all mean things, okay? There's a reason the body's not sleeping. There's a reason you're not feeling rested despite getting enough sleep, and that's where root cause medicine comes in. Let's really get to the bottom line of why that quality of sleep is either not present or not restorative, and that's something we can do. Even in quarantine, we can do that. So whether you live locally and want to come visit, which you can, coming to a doctor's office is allowed and we're open, or if you just want to stay home and we do remote visits, we can do that as well. But getting to the bottom line of why the body's not sleeping is definitely an area of expertise of ours. In the interim, while we're trying to figure out the why, if you need some sleep help, definitely visit our store, rootcausemedicalstore.com. We have a lot of good sleep aids there that of course are natural, nice little sleep package. And I've gotten to the root of the vast majority of my health issues over the years. I'm always tweaking it. Currently pre-COVID, I just happen to be in another sort of deep dive. Let's see what we can do to optimize the function of this machine. And I'm pretty type A. I'm pretty high energy during the day. Like what you see on these videos and how fast I talk and my energy level, that's just me. This is not, I'm not on for the video. This is, what you see is me pretty much. If I'm awake, this is what I'm like. So I need something to turn me off, and these are GABA initiators that kind of turn off all that adrenaline, and I need help with that. Even though my health is good, my hormones are balanced, etc., etc., I just do. So I have my little sleepy time cocktail that I use, and it's what I need to get good sleep. And I do, as I said, enjoy my 8 hours. So there can be a combination, but you don't just want to use the natural nutrition. You can use it to sort of help start getting sleep, because that's really important, especially now, because we want to have a strong immune system. But if you just go, wow, took the edge off, but my sleep's still not ideal, there's a reason for that, because your immune system comes out at sleep. So if it's fighting a lot and it's dealing with a lot of toxins, etc., we need to unveil that and figure that out and handle it so you can really get that nice effortless sleep. So I hope that helped. Please give me a call if you want to set up a free consultation, and definitely visit the website, rootcausemedicalclinics.com. And I'll see you soon. Oh, the call. Call me at 408-733-0400.